Okay, CO302, week 11. I'm going to try to do a lot here and explain why I made little modifications to Canvas based on what I've seen of your work that I spent some time with this morning, and encouraging you to make the most out of the next 2 weeks of work as they're in a position to save you work in the long run. Here's the deal. I really loved a lot of the websites. I thought a lot of the work that you put into the websites, the skin of the websites, if you would, were really good. They looked really good and professional. Great Wix sites, great Weebly sites, a great GoDaddy site someone used. Anyway, they look good, and they look good enough for you to really actually start focusing on the content and the craft of writing on your website. So I modified the upcoming assignments. They're really the same thing. I just emphasized what I'm going to be paying attention to. And that is, I do want to look at your blog posts. So basically your process writing, your blog. Your initial draft of your website and your second blog post that was due this last Friday were both worth 20 points apiece. Each of these are going to be worth 30 points apiece. So they're worth 1.5 times as much, because I want you to focus on the writing, or I want to see more of that. In terms of your blog post should show a careful process of drafting and some kind of an outline or an organization, some kind of a revision to make them easier to read, and ideally some kind of media if you choose to include that, so that you are also working on improving your skills as a writer. So I am not going to be grading your website anymore. The content pages, the way things look, you did, on the whole, everybody did good on that. There was a wide variety, though, in the quality of writing on the blog posts, and that's what I was kind of worried about, and at least where I feel like we could grow the most as a class is in helping you write more and helping you spend more time with your writing. So this new kind of layout is going to help you do that. Here's what I did. For this Wednesday and the Wednesday after that, I'm asking for about 400 words. I usually hate putting a word requirement on things, but I want you to fill out some of your ideas and say more about what you're going to do. For some of you that may be difficult, but I want you to draft a list or a lot of words that you could then use into your blog posts. So these words go directly into your next blog post. And I say 3 blog posts, this means 3 total blog posts. So you only really need to create 1 new one, but it should be, and a lot of you still have work to do either creating or revising the first 2 that you made. So you're going to take these words and go into, one of them is going to go into 3 blog posts total, that's 1 new post, and revise the other 2. I'm going to look at these 3 holistically to give you your points, and then you're going to do the exact same thing, get 1 new one for 4 blog posts total, and I'm going to assess the writing there. What could you do for those 400 words that you're going to be working on? I was hoping ideally to see some kind of a process of a question where you outline what your question is, and then you research or investigate what that answer to that question is. So these could be your notes that you get an answer to your question, and ideally all of these are leading into your P5 final project, which is what I'm calling a long form web text. It's a little bit more complex than these blog posts. These blog posts are going into this, and this could be a documentary movie, a podcast episode. It could just be a researched argument essay. Point being, I want us to improve our writing ability and our writing online, and I don't want you to focus too much on how your site looks. And I'm noticing some of you making little tweaks in how it looks. I want you to do that, but I want you also to focus on your ability to write, which means drafting, outlining, revising, and adding media. So you'll notice that the assignment sheets or on the discussion forum are a little different, and that I asked for a new kind of a self-assessment to make sure to help me see your work in actually writing a little bit more and with a little more care, spending more time with your own writing. So I hope this helps. We're going to use Cleon and McLeod, and I did want to say one other thing about that. We're going to use Cleon and McLeod as a way to understand this, but I want your 400 words. They do not need to be about Cleon or McLeod. They're about your blog posts. They're your notes, your pre-writing to be able to write your blog posts better. And why we looked at chapter 3 in particular, let's see if we can look at this, was to see the different ways that you could organize not only your pages, but the information in your pages. So this is kind of thinking about ways that you could ideally, hopefully, improve the content quality of your blog posts themselves by giving them more of an outline or some kind of an organized sense to them. And this outline organized sense is really usually the product of good pre-writing and brainstorming. So that's what I'm hoping that you do. I'm also gonna do a new sign-up sheet so that you can ask me particular questions if you'd like. But for now, I hope you are doing as well as could be. And thanks for all your work. Your websites really do look great. I just want to encourage you to be better writers at this point. Okay, thank you all. Let me know if you have questions. Bye now.